two men who were subcontracted by AT&T to do work on this tower behind me were found dead this morning inside of a small building at the base of the tower. JSO is now working to identify the two victims. All the sergeant can tell me is that it is two males believed to be 30 to 40 years old. JSO got a 911 call shortly after 6 o'clock this morning from someone saying they needed rescue for two unresponsive men inside of the building. Arriving officers then pronounced them dead. Those two workers are believed to have gotten to the tower at 10 o'clock last night, and the sergeant says the shooting then happened very early this morning. Now detectives are working right now to piece together what happened in those hours in between.
Two telecom workers were presumably executed for performing their job. Ladies and gentlemen, seems like the war against death towers has just escalated. And at first the citizens were burning down the death towers, and it seems like the telecoms just didn't get the message. People don't want these death towers in their neighborhoods. Now, it's unfortunate to see this type of violence occur in our city streets, but America is just no longer the same after this COVID lockdown. Ladies and gentlemen, we've seen many riots. We've seen lots of social justice warriors out there fighting against the system. And while some of it is endorsed by this mainstream media beast system conglomerate, other behavior is not acceptable according to this new world order. And that includes burning down their beast system death towers that are part of the eugenics programs to irradiate you and to kill you. Ladies and gentlemen, the studies are clear that death towers suppress the immune system, they attack the nervous system, they cause cancer. And there's white paper after white paper, study after study that confirms this. However, the television that receives big telecom dollars, ladies and gentlemen, from Verizon, AT&T, and the like, they don't like talking about the studies. They don't like talking about the real science. And so here's the conflict. You've got this beast system rolling out death towers in everybody's neighborhood. And then you've got the poor little citizen that can't really defend themselves from these mega death towers, and all they can do is burn them down. Now, obviously, ladies and gentlemen, it'd be nice if the system worked for the citizens. But we are not a country for, of, and by the people. We are a country for, of, and by the corporation, ladies and gentlemen. And so we're locked out of this system. People are locked out of this system. You don't get to elect these people that are pre-selected on television, ladies and gentlemen. It's a big club and we're not in it. And, you know, this pre-selected group of cult members, 322 Skull and Bones fraternity individuals, don't want to hear what citizens have to say. And that's why the boogaloo is coming. I mean, it's already begun in Seattle. They've basically embargoed the Capitol building, so they won't be passing any new emergency measures anytime soon. And they may not even be coming around to vaccinate people in the state of Washington because they might need to pass some authorization for that. So, you know, people, you know, it's become, you know, stylish, if you will, to basically take your government back, to fight back against this system that has oppressed you and has basically irradiated you and sprayed you like bugs and the like. I mean, we see the eugenics programs everywhere these days, and more death towers are coming. Did you know that? They've just authorized more emergency funding for death towers, if you can believe that, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we've got some real epic new footage of funky, never seen before towers like this one. You have to wonder what that is. Looks like a stack of flying saucers. We could take a few guesses, but it looks like the antennas for the drones. You know, they have these little disc antennas, that operate at around 5 gigahertz. So is that a massive stack of 5 gigahertz transmitters? Could be, ladies and gentlemen. And then you got this other mega death tower, and then another mega death tower. There's like 3 mega death towers like at this shopping center, and you're probably seeing the same thing in your neighborhood. Can you count how many death towers there are in your town right now? You know, back in the 90s, there weren't so many death towers, and everybody had cell service. And even in the early 2000s, everybody had cell service and internet on the phone, and you didn't have to see these death towers everywhere. But now they're just stacked and packed everywhere you go. Your shopping mall, your schools, your place of work, and at home. You're getting dosed, you're getting irradiated at levels never seen before. Totally untested at this magnitude, at this consistency, ladies and gentlemen. Untested in the sense that it's unproven to be safe. There have been tests conducted on lab animals, and they get the cancer, ladies and gentlemen. That came out in the Interphone report, huge government study. And, you know, the discussion has never been the same since. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to really focus everybody's attention on these death towers because there's so much bread and circus going on with the politics, with the outbreak, as well as other schemes, if you will, like grabbing the oil from the Middle East and the like. But getting back to the big picture, these death towers are everywhere, and they're starting to stack and pack them, ladies and gentlemen. Big story if you're just joining us. 2 cell tower workers shot and killed in Jacksonville, Florida. Now, the news makes it seem like, oh, well, thankfully it wasn't AT&T corporate workers. It was just subcontractors. But most of the work is subcontracted out there. The fact that the media would even say such a thing, you know, really shows you how much they value human life. Oh, well, thankfully it wasn't the corporate workers. Moo cows, you're just grazing in the pasture, waiting for the slaughterhouse. You've noticed these death towers before, and they creep you out, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody likes these death towers. And the thing is, nobody can say no. We're getting irradiated. This radiation is penetrating through everyone, and we have no say about it. It is actually violating your body, and you can't opt out. What about Me Too when it comes to this digital rape?
Hey, yo, check this out, y'all. I told y'all what's going on in Georgia. They putting these mugs up everywhere. And then they had a nerve to put some fake ass Kris Kringle underneath the mulberry bush leaves on that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Some fake Christmas tree leaves. Look at that shit. It's big as a motherfucker. Like, excuse my language, man, but that shit look like it can electrocute and blow some shit up. I'm out. I'm gonna go ahead. Yo, look at that shit. Look how big it is. Like, I can't eat, like.
Crazy everywhere. People are freaking out. And it's not your imagination. These things are horrible for your health. And you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out that you don't need to be slow electrocuted by AT&T, Verizon, Sprint. And look, people don't need phones that bad. But it's really not about the phones, ladies and gentlemen. It's about what comes next. The Skynet, the Robocops, the driverless everything, the drones everywhere. And so this is the beginning of the end of humanity as we know it, the beginning of the Matrix. And if we could go back in time, I'm sure humans would come back to right now and attempt to stop what's coming next, because it's going to be the Matrix, the Borg, you know, cyborgs everywhere. And, you know, these death towers are the gateway to that. Are you ready for your vaccines?
That's the bird that I believe is still moving around. And then that's the eagle, and then there goes the other bird. And I believe that one's dead.
There goes the other bird, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready for your vaccines? Are you ready for your COVID-19 vaccine? We're selling White Flags and Astroglide so that you can grab your ankles and shelter in place as the deep state comes by to penetrate. You love it. You need it. You need your STFN every day, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to check out our website, stfnreport.com. But don't you worry, we're not done with you yet, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready for the Boogaloo? July 4th. Bring the guillotine. Why? The plandemic. That's why. They let this virus in, and now they want to inject you with their vaccines. Have you seen Avengers 2011? It features the coronavirus right there. Corona beer and a virus that looks just like the coronavirus. Avengers 2011. Plandemic. They've been planning this for years. They wanted to suspend your Independence Day. Take it back, July 4th. Bring the guillotine. It's already begun in Seattle. Now, they may call it a right-wing kind of thing. But there's a reason why they call it the chop, bitches. They want to bring the guillotine. They were listening to STFN, bitches. They beat you to it. They started the trend anyways in Seattle. Every city hall, every state capital, this 4th of July. It's the chop, bitches. You know what I mean? Why? Because they infected you with their virus. They've erected death towers everywhere. They're fluoridating you with the water. They're spraying you like bugs with the pesticides and the geoengineering. When is enough going to be enough, ladies and gentlemen? They're trying to groom and molest your children at school right now. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. It's a bunch of cult members running the show. The television has become 24/7 product placement for the dark side. Product placement for the Illuminati, for the devil itself. There's no denying the evidence, ladies and gentlemen. This is the new America now. These people have been victimized by this system, by the education, by the indoctrination, by the programming, by the drugs, and the culture that's allowed to infect everyone's minds. You know, you don't see them censoring music videos, gangster videos where they're shooting people and the like. You don't see them censoring any of that. They don't censor the movies that promote the Luciferian cause, murder, death, kill. Ladies and gentlemen, they promote everything that is evil, and they censor everything that is good. How many channels have we had to reboot, ladies and gentlemen? How many channels have they taken down? How many books have they burned? And they're complaining about death towers lighting on fire. You know, they even want to call this an act of terror. What's the real act of terror here, ladies and gentlemen? Erecting these death towers or taking them down? Let us know in the comment section. What is the real act of terror here? Putting these death towers up or bringing them down? And I think it's important to, educate your neighbors. That way, if there's a jury trial, people can have a fair chance in making their case. Now, here we've got some exclusive footage from the GQ Electronics lab. We're testing out the EMF 390 in the sine wave formation. And I know we've got some other exclusive footage from deep inside the lab. Check out the equipment. Look at that. Here's the comparison with the tri-field. Look, the EMF 390 is only $129 on our website right now, stfnreport.com, or on our Facebook page, STFN Reloaded. The competitors are $200, $300, $400. And, it fits in your pocket. This handy device is a scientific tool that does so much more than all of the other meters out there combined. And it has a range and an accuracy that surpasses the competition. Now, here's what's strange. Cruising around, this is video from the old world, by the way, and footage of somebody cruising around with the EMF 390 shows us 0.001 milliwatts per meter squared. Now, this town has 4G LTE, super fast internet, full phone coverage. And yet it's only at 0.001 milliwatts per meter squared. Now, the thing here is that they say 0.250 is when biological effects begin to occur. 1 milliwatt per meter squared is considered extreme. But when we look at what people are being exposed to in North America now with the new death towers, it's up to 500, 1,000 milliwatts, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we can bring you that footage. The video guy is on vacation, mesmerized by the new Americans. But even at the cop shops, they are getting so dosed, ladies and gentlemen, it's not even funny. 670 milliwatts. You gotta love the video guy on location. And, huge doses. People are just getting cooked, slow cooked right now, and they don't even know it. And talking about it has become a crime. But there's a reason why, these death towers are burning to the ground. And if they don't want to give people, a right to opt out, undoubtedly these death towers are going to continue to burn to the ground. Now, they can call it terrorism if they want to. But the real terror are these death towers in your neighborhoods. And they're coming for all of you. It doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. It doesn't matter if you're black or white or Latino. These death towers are coming for you. And what's as bad as these death towers? It's what's on the other end of the phone. Your cell phones connect to these death towers. Your routers with the Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi are dosing you as well. You might not know this, but you are now in a 100% synthetic environment. The physics of your world are like nothing any other human has ever experienced before. It's enormous. And the readings that we're getting in North American cities is disturbing, to say the least. It's much worse than other countries. It's as if they're trying to get you. And it's like the food, Our food is illegal in most other countries. Why is that? Is it because they're trying to get you? Do they not like Americans in America? Is that a possibility? Do these libtards not like Americans? Do they not like people that live and breathe? That's the question you really have to ask yourself right now. Looks like the video guy is on vacation. But, we've covered the news reports where there's cancer clusters at elementary schools because of these death towers. There is no denying the evidence. Here's the biology, the bioinitiative standards, and 1,000 microwatts or 1 milliwatt per meter squared in high frequency radiation is considered extreme. That's 1 milliwatt. Right now, it can be 700 milliwatts in your area, at your schools, at your place of work. And so, look, you should shop around for a meter. The El Cheapo from Home Depot for $20 isn't going to do it. But, the high-grade meters run 200, 300, 400 easy. And we've got video comparing all of these meters, and none perform as well as the EMF 390. And most max out at 20 milliwatts. The EMF 390 can go to 3,000 milliwatts, 10,000 milliwatts. That's right, 10 watts. And you'd be surprised how bad you're getting dosed. And it's got all these functions, all these modes. It blows away the competition. You need to know what you're getting dosed with. And now it's affordable. Before it wasn't too affordable. To find out what you were getting dosed with, I mean, before you'd have to shell out $200, $300, $400. Some people have shelled out, $1,000 for the gigahertz solution and all of the antennas and all of that. $129 and it's yours. Check it out on our website, stfnreport.com, or on our Facebook page, STFN Reloaded, or in the video description if you're checking this out on the ScrewTube channel. Now, if you're just joining us, very disturbing news. 2 cell tower workers, subcontractors, have been shot and killed, presumably executed, at a death tower, ladies and gentlemen. And, you really can't imagine the circumstances there. But some people are really fed up with what's going on, to say the least. And not sure what the video guy is doing, but isn't this a quaint location? Remember, it's the epic struggle of good versus evil out there. Now, here's a European city, old world style, going up to a mega death tower, and we're getting about 20 milliwatts, 10, 20 milliwatts. And, this mode with the EMF 390 is excellent for fox hunting, hidden towers. It's better than Pokemon Go, and you'd be surprised where they're hiding these death towers. You'd be surprised where the death traps are right now, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, the video guy's on vacation, but that's pretty much it for the news right now. We're going to be coming back for a live show later on today. People will be able to call in, talk about the death towers, talk about the outbreak, talk about the eugenics programs and the like. And, we want to give everybody an opportunity to call into the show. That'll happen on the ScrewTube channels, either the main one or the backup. But, find us on our website, stfnreport.com, for Stranger Than Fiction news. stfnreport.com. And what is this thing? What is this new death tower? Looks like 5 gigahertz, maybe 7 gigahertz. But be on the lookout if you've got footage of new and extreme looking things. In terms of, these death towers, send it our way to the Twitter message system, and, let us know what you see out there. Very important, because I'm sure, many of you are seeing, all sorts of death towers. And soon, these things will literally keep you up at night. They'll be on your street. They're coming everywhere. And there'll be no escaping. But here's some footage of what some of the new 5G rectennas look like, double stacked. Real interesting, to say the least. They're wider, they're bigger, and there's more power going through them. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll have to leave it there for this broadcast. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Until the next time, if you're listening to this, you are the resistance.